Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you had a great weekend. If you guys are new, my name is Andrea. I film videos all about cruelty-free beauty products, and you picked a good video to start with because today we are talking about new makeup, and I'm particularly interested in hearing your thoughts on these products because I think there are products that are going to completely split opinions. I think people will be really interested in some of these products or they'll completely hate them. So I can't wait to hear what you guys think. Be sure to share your thoughts in the comment section below, but I'll go through and chat about them. I think I'll start with the products that I'm planning on purchasing or I might possibly purchase, just things that have caught my eye in general, and then I'll talk about the products that I'm going to pass on. I believe the majority of these products are already available, so if you want to check them out or you want more info, I will link them in the description box below for you guys. But let's jump into it and start chatting about the makeup. Okay, let's start with an eyeshadow palette release from BH Cosmetics. So I haven't picked the palette that I'm planning on purchasing yet for the month of April, but this one is definitely like one of the top 3 choices. This one is the BH Cosmetics It's My RayeRaye Collaboration. I believe this one is like round 2. It retails for $17.50 and it is available now at Ulta Beauty as well as on the BH Cosmetics website. This is such a beautiful palette. BH Cosmetics has been a brand that has been really intriguing to me over the past few months. I think they release a lot of products, but a lot of the palettes are very beautiful, very colorful and bold, and this one is no exception, but this is one that I've seriously considered purchasing. I love the bold shades in here, and I love that there are bold mattes and metallics, so that might be the palette that I grab during the month of April. The other palettes that I'm considering for my April purchase are the Anastasia Riviera and the ColourPop Spring palette. I can't decide between the 3. I've heard mixed reviews on the Anastasia Riviera palette, so I don't know if I'll go with that one, and I've heard nothing but good things about the ColourPop palette, but I have a ColourPop obsession, so I'm kind of thinking maybe it's time to, take a break just for like a month and try a different brand. But those are the 3 palettes that are currently at the top of my list. What do you guys think? If you had to purchase one of those 3, which one would you go with? So Stila released 2 new palettes. They retail for $52 each. They have the Happy Hour palette and the After Hours palette. So the After Hours palette is available at Sephora, but the Happy Hour palette is only available on the Stila website, at least for now. It just looks like a very beautiful palette. It has mattes and shimmers, but it also has some glitter shadows, and I can't tell if they're like glitter toppers, if they're opaque glitters. Glitter is not something that I typically go for a whole lot, but it could be an interesting formula to try. So I'll definitely have to look into it more, but the issue is the palette that I like, the Happy Hour palette's not available in stores. So if the After Hours palette is available in Sephora stores, I might go in, look at it, like play with it, swatch it, and see if it is a texture that I would like, or if the glitters are going to be a little bit underwhelming. I feel like they could be really good, especially because Stila creates those liquid glitter shadows and they do such a good job. So I think if a brand is going to do a glitter shadow well, it's probably going to be Stila. So that one's kind of like on my possibly list. I'm not 100% sure, but if you guys have gotten the chance to try either one of those palettes, I would love to hear your thoughts on the formula. So a lot of you guys were asking me my thoughts on the new Drunk Elephant product. They just released a makeup melting butter, which retails for $34. It is available now on Sephora's website, and you can also get it from drunkelephant.com. So I'm currently using a cleansing balm from Pharmacy, which is very, very similar. It's like a solid product, and you rub it together and you massage it on your face to remove makeup and dirt and oil, and I like to use it as a makeup remover, and then I go in with a separate cleanser, and I just find it to be very gentle and it doesn't irritate my eyes or my skin. I am curious to try out this Drunk Elephant one because that is the method that I'm currently using to remove my makeup. It definitely caught my eye, maybe more than it would have if I was using like a micellar water. Anyways, I think this one is actually priced pretty fairly. It is $34 for 3.88 ounces, and I actually follow this Instagram account called Beauty Deals BFF, and they post products, usually new products, and they compare it to other similar products on the market, and they break it down price per ounce. So they compared this one to other popular cleansing balms, and the Drunk Elephant one, surprisingly, was one of the more affordable options, and it's actually less expensive price per ounce than the Pharmacy balm. I'm looking forward to using that. I'll definitely pick it up and let you guys know what I think. All right, so Fenty is releasing a bunch of new products on April 5th. I hope that I have all of them here for you guys. I was just looking through their Instagram a minute ago, but they are coming out with new bronzers. These retail for $30 each. They are creamy powder bronzers. They're supposed to be very blendable, transfer resistant in 8 different shades. in general, the Fenty face products typically work for me because I do have more oily skin and I just find that they tend to be mattifying and they stay in place well. So I would definitely be willing to check out the bronzer. I'm not in the market for a new bronzer yet. I'm currently like working on one or two, but maybe down the road. They're also releasing a cute little bronze duo, which retails for $24. So this is a mini bronzer set that comes with a mini powder bronzer and then a mini match stick, or one of like their cream shimmer bronzers. Now, I definitely don't wear cream bronzers. I'm kind of getting more into cream cheek products very, very slowly. I think they're really beautiful. They tend to look more natural on the skin. So this might actually be something fun to play with. And for $24, you get the chance to try out the powder bronzer and the cream bronzer. So now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I'll go with that rather than purchasing a full-sized bronzer that I don't know that I really need in my collection right now. It might be more ideal to try two mini versions. So they have one for light to medium skin tones and then one for tan to deep skin tones. So that might be something fun to try as well. And then they're actually also releasing a mini Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder for $16. If you break it down price per ounce, the mini one is about $54 an ounce and the full-sized one is $32 an ounce. So the mini is significantly more expensive. That's not a problem if you don't go through powder quickly, or it's worth it to you to purchase a small size before committing to a full-size powder, but that's a pretty big price difference. And then last thing, they're also releasing a few of their new highlighters. So these retail for $34. I am so tempted by their highlighters. I do have a mini in the shade Hustla Baby, and it's so, so beautiful. I think it's such a great option. I wish they would do more minis or more split pans because highlighters just aren't something that I go through. And I don't think you always have to purchase a product with the intention of finishing it up, but I would like to have like a mini version if at all possible when it comes to highlighters, because I just don't need an entire pan, especially some of the shades that Fenty releases, because they tend to do like more colorful shades, more intense highlighters, rather than something that is a little bit more wearable for like the typical everyday definition of wearable. So anyways, they are coming out with two new full-sized highlighters. So one is a metallic burnt copper and the other one is a metallic brick red. The red I think is really beautiful because it has a lot of pink to it, but I just read on the Trend Mood Instagram they decided to pull that blush for now. I don't know if they're going to release it with a different name because they had a controversial name. It was called Geisha Chic, which honestly, when I saw that name a few days ago, I was pretty surprised. I think that Fenty is obviously known for inclusivity, so I didn't expect Fenty to be under fire for a controversial name. But of course, I can applaud their decision to remove that product. I mean, obviously, it's not something that really should have been approved in the first place, but who knows what happened. But the fact that they listened to feedback and pulled it that quickly is pretty admirable because a lot of companies are just not willing to do that these days. So those are all of the products that I'm planning on purchasing or I'm thinking about purchasing. Let's move on to the products that I'm not going to buy. Okay, so Tarte is a little bit late to the game, but they are finally releasing their infamous April Fool's palette from last year. This is the Icy Betch palette, which retails for $24. It's available now on Sephora's website. It is a limited edition palette, so I don't know exactly how long it's going to be around. Maybe eventually it will go on sale. $24 for that palette I don't think is a bad price if it's something that you're interested in buying. So I don't want to say that I'm over blue eyeshadow because I love blue eyeshadow. I think it's so beautiful, but I think that I've found I don't wear it often enough where I feel like I need to purchase multiple blue palettes. I'm waiting for ColourPop to release one of like their 9-pan monochromatic blue palettes, and that will be perfect for me. But a lot of brands are releasing like blue and green toned palettes, and I just don't feel like I have to have all of them. Whenever I wear blue, I typically wear somewhat of a similar blue look, and I find that I can get like a lot of blue looks just using a few shades. So this one is like the ColourPop wet palette. I'm totally good with blending this into the crease and then using this blue all over the lid, this blue all over the lid. I can take like a silver and mix it in. I just don't find that I need a ton of blue eyeshadow in my life. So I don't want to say that I'm like over blue palettes because I do love blue. And again, if ColourPop drops a blue palette, I'll totally grab it, but I don't feel as excited about them as I did maybe a year ago when I didn't have any blue in my makeup collection. Anyways, I do think that this is a pretty palette. It's totally out of the box for Tarte, but at the same time, I don't know why they didn't just release the original. I don't know if they had an issue with the packaging, an issue with the formula, and maybe this was like the best they could do, but I feel like at this point, it's been an entire year. They're so late to the game on this, and if they were going to do it at all, I kind of wish they just released the original one that they shared last April Fool's. This one's kind of like a toned down version. It's like a less saturated version, a less green version. There's a little bit more blue in it. And I don't know, like if they had done the original, I can't say that I would have honestly grabbed it at this point, but I would be more interested in grabbing it than I am in this one. I'm just not interested in this palette at all at this point. And to be honest with you guys, like Tarte's formula when it comes to their eyeshadows is so hit and miss for me. Let's talk about the new Urban Decay Game of Thrones collection. So this one is going to be available on April 14th on the Urban Decay website and April 29th online at Ulta and then in stores on May 2nd. So we still have a little while before this one's released. They really started promoting this one early. Now, full disclosure, Urban Decay does send me PR. They tend to send me their new releases. Honestly, I don't ever expect anything because some brands do, some brands don't. If I do get this in the mail and you want to see a review on it to hear about the actual quality of the products, I can definitely film that and obviously share a completely unbiased review because I'm telling you right now, it's not something that I would have spent my own money on. But if I do get it, I'm happy to review it for those of you that might be interested in hearing about the quality. So I don't know, we'll see. But you know, I personally don't watch Game of Thrones. I haven't read the books. I know that so many people love both the books and the series, and it is something that I would like to get into, but I would have to commit so much time to catching up. And in 2019, like I'm just really trying to like cut back on Netflix and television and read more. So maybe I'll read the books. But if the show is as good as everybody says it is, I mean, maybe it is something that I should check out. Anyways, I am not very familiar with Game of Thrones, with what it's all about. So I am approaching it from an outsider's perspective. I think a lot of people might be interested in this collection if they are like diehard Game of Thrones fans, just because they might consider it more of like a collector's piece. But at the same time, if you really are like a super big Game of Thrones fan, you might not be interested in this palette and this collection depending on how well they did with matching the colors with like the themes and the names. The eyeshadow palette retails for $65, which is pretty expensive. You are getting some seriously bulky packaging. You know, I think a lot of times when brands do collaborate with like a movie or you know, a series or whatever, they tend to do this very large, bulky packaging. And I don't know if it's like the show or the movie, like really pushing for that, or if it's the makeup brand. But I think at this point, a lot of brands have to realize that people aren't looking for packaging like this. Like it has a super large pop-up. I think it could be really interesting if you're into that. But I think as somebody who's just a makeup lover, I don't want a palette so large and bulky in my makeup collection. I think there are some pretty colors in here, but I think overall, it's so much for an eyeshadow palette. They also have the Mother of Dragons highlight palette, which retails for $36. There are 3 different shades in that palette. And then there are 24/7 Glide On eye pencils, which are $22 each. There are 4 shades, and some of them are really, really pretty. I do have a ton of their eyeliners, so I don't know how these compare. I don't know if they are completely unique to the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On pencil collection, or if I could find something somewhat similar. I do love the pencils. I wear them almost every single day. So if there is like a super unique shade, I might be interested in trying one of them. And then there are some Vice lipsticks. There are 4 different shades, some nudes, some reds, same thing. I have a lot of Vice lipsticks because I really enjoy them. I think the formula is really great. And for a high-end lipstick, they're not a bad price. But I do feel like I probably have very similar colors in my Urban Decay Vice lipstick collection. And then there is a lip and cheek stain for $26, 2 eyeshadow brushes for $28 each, or you can purchase the entire vault for $250. So if I'm looking at it from like a makeup lover's standpoint, the entire collection doesn't really seem like something super appealing to me personally. If you're really into Game of Thrones, or you know somebody who loves Urban Decay and loves Game of Thrones, maybe they would be super excited to get this palette or this collection as a gift. I don't know, you guys, I love Urban Decay. They are one of my favorite brands, and they have consistently high quality products, but I think their releases over the past year have been a little bit underwhelming as a whole. So I just want them to release like something different. Like Urban Decay in my mind used to be a little bit more of an edgy brand, especially when I really got into makeup. I mean, they had their naked palettes, but they also would release like limited edition palettes that were a little bit more like cool toned and smoky and grungy. And lately, I just don't feel like their releases have been super eye-catching. So Ulta Beauty is doing an Avengers collaboration, which is kind of fun. My husband is a diehard Avengers fan. Like he's like a diehard Marvel fan. He has been since before I met him. And because of that, because I love him and we spend so much time together, inevitably I've seen the majority of like the Avengers movies and the superhero movies. And he was just telling me we should watch all of the Avengers movies, and not just the Avengers movies, but like every related superhero movie leading up to the Avengers Endgame before we go see it in theaters. But I think it's cute that they teamed up. It's a little bit of an unexpected collaboration. I haven't really seen any like superhero collaborations in the past, but I think the makeup bags are pretty cute. And if you are an Avengers fan, or you have somebody in your life who is an Avengers fan who might want a makeup bag, these might be a fun gift idea. They have like a smaller clutch makeup bag, which retails for $12, a larger like weekender makeup bag that zips open and has the two sides for $28, or an organizer for $16. And then they also have some makeup products. So they have an eyeshadow palette, which retails for $20, a highlight palette for $16, 4 glosses, which are $10 each, and 4 matte liquid lipsticks for $10 each. I personally am not planning on buying anything, just because even though I watch the movies and I think they're fun, I'm not like a diehard Avengers fan where I feel like I have to have the makeup bag and, you know, the different products with the packaging. But if you are, I think it's a cute collection. And not only is the packaging cute, but the actual colors of the products look cute too. And the last thing I want to mention is from the Balm. So they're releasing an Auto Balm collection. There are 3 different palettes in the shape of license plates, and these are available now. So they retail for $26.50. There are 2 eyeshadow palettes, which come with 8 shades, and then 1 like blush highlight palette with 4 shades. So the Balm is a brand that I wish I liked more than I do. I think they have some really good products. Like their bronzer is my favorite. Their blushes are really great too. And it is a brand that I really loved when I first got into makeup, but it's a brand that doesn't really tend to catch my eye very much, especially with their new releases. I think the products that I've tried are really great. And whenever I do try a new product, I think the quality is definitely there, but I don't know what it is. It's just a brand that I can't seem to get really, really into. So when I saw this collection, I honestly scrolled right past it on Instagram. I didn't even give it a second look because for some reason it just didn't appeal to me that much. And this picture of the swatches on Trend Mood's Instagram just look a little bit lackluster for me personally. So I don't know. I mean, I think the packaging is cute. It's a cute concept, but unfortunately, like the Balm, they're just not doing it for me these days. I like some of their products, but as a whole, I'm just not super interested in the brand. I wish that wasn't the case because they do make some great products and they have like, you know, they have a cute theme overall, but it's just not for me. Okay, guys, that is the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I would love to hear your thoughts, so please do share them in the comment section below. I really do love hearing from you, and just, you know, I'm always curious what other people think about new makeup releases as well. But I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye.